Hey, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of The Extra Point. Got PL Culture, Tasha T. Sizzle, and Michigan Mike in the house. You saw us grooving, because that's how we get down before the start of the show. What is up, lady and gent?
Nothing's up. Just sitting here, and y'all know this is so off brand for me. Even everyone in this world knows I love Dr. Pepper. That's the only pop that I drink. But for me to be drinking it this early in the morning, y'all know your girl had a rough night.
Okay, shouldn't you want to be a pepper too? Okay, Mike, how you doing today? I know you're in a good mood today.
Man, I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm doing great. Still living on the high. Still waiting for this ring to come out so I can get a replica of it. You know.
Right on, and we're gonna get right to that. But before we do, we got to give a shout out to our esteemed sponsors. Tasha,
we are sponsored by May Jane's Coffee. That's MAEJANES Coffee.com. May Jane is on the road again, y'all. She's in enemy territory. She's down there in old Oxford at the University of Old Piss.
Oh, they got a big matchup today. Old Piss got a big matchup against those Aggies. That's what's up. Shouts out to Make James Coffee. Mike, you up?
Wolverine _ comics TX. We buy, sell, and trade all comics. So hit me up.
Right, and if you get something during the scandal, Mike will personally sign any Michigan-related items that you want to get because it's going to be worth something in the future. I just wanted to get a little jokey joke out there because all you Michigan haters, no, we ain't talking about that today. So you might well go and click out of here if you think we're finna get in here and talk about Stallions and Michigan. We not. Let me say you some comments on the show. If you want to see Michigan, you're going to have to tune in to NBC at 6:30 tonight and watch that pancaking that Purdue loudmouth coach finna get. I'm going to get into that just in the close of the show.
But let's nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Right. Tasha, don't get me on track this morning. Purdue coach got me ready to cuss and fuss. But we're going to start right there in Mike's background. The Texas Rangers, congratulations. They are your 2023 World Series champions. Their first in franchise history. Now, Corey Seager, shouts out to him. He was the World Series MVP. And shouts out to this historic run. The Rangers were the first team in MLB history to go a perfect 11-0 on the road. It was only fitting that they took care of business in 5 games. As Mike predicted a couple of weeks ago, he said Rangers in 5. Rangers got it done in 5. Good morning to Stephanie Coulter checking in. Mike, let me start with you. First of all, your thoughts on the Rangers' surprise run to a title, and can you please kind of give us some insight as a born and raised Texan on how this first title for the Rangers compares to the Mavs' first title in 2011?
Yeah, so I'm gonna throw a little bit of history. I mean, the reason why their Rangers fans have kind of been under the radar is because that 2010, 2011 kind of hit us pretty hard. 1 out away, you know, with Cruz. Like, you just gotta die for the ball, you know, just die for it. I even have a Cruz jersey in my closet right now that I have not worn since, and I think I can start wearing it again because I think all is forgiven now that we have one.
That's awesome feeling.
I think, you know, you, Paul, you know, you recently have become a Rangers fan, and you're like, man, you know, you've been saying it for the past 5 years, like, oh, maybe this is a year. And I'm like, no, man, that bullpen's kind of trash. I think with Chris Young, CY coming through, spending some money, pulling, you know, some, I think it's Mark Cuban-esque, just coming in and starting buying everything. I mean, we showed success. I think the only reason why we had a little doubt was because we had a lot of injuries this year. And everyone was started clicking.
To the big ace, Jacob deGrom, that was supposed to come over and change the fortunes of everything, and he really didn't play all year.
Yeah, and Scherzer, you know, he got hurt too. He was another ace that had veteran, you know, won a World Series before. We had a lot of veterans, and I think that was the difference in the World Series against a young Diamondback team.
How did this reaction from the fans compare to the reaction in 2011 when Dirk finally got over the hump and knocked off LeBron's Heat?
I think the Mavs one was a little bit more expected because we were so close in 2006, so 5 more years, and it was kind of ours. We were kind of cruising through everybody.
Yeah,
Portland,
y'all blew through everybody
favorites,
in those playoffs.
OKC, Lakers, we swept them. So it was kind of like, oh yeah, this is ours. With the same with the Rangers, I think there was still that doubt there, right? So like being a back-to-back World Series and being one out away, you always have that doubt. You're like, no, 5-0, I don't care. We still need these outs, So I think there was a little bit more doubt.
It's kind of funny because me and Mike used to have this kind of Rangers tradition that our only expectation was for them to get us to football training camp. Like stay relevant in this long enough to get us to training camp, and then we cool with you, Texas. Good looking out. We'll see you next February. But this time was a little bit different. Natasha, I want to come to you from a different angle. I looked up the numbers on this, and it said that there was an average of 9.1 million viewers on Fox for the 5-game series, which is the lowest on record in MLB history. They really missed a treat because this Texas team was a fun team to watch. They were explosive offensively, and they had good character players that you wouldn't mind rooting for. Tasha, why do you think that the numbers continue to go down? Because this wasn't a Texas and Arizona thing. This has been going on for the last 5 or 6 years that the numbers can continue to dip as far as World Series interest. You're over there in a country that adores baseball. Why do you think that is, that it's not getting so much love in America anymore?
Well, I can tell you for one down here that most of them were rooting for the Diamondbacks because of the lack of Dominican players on the Ranger squad. You got I think it's Miguel Castro. He's up the road here. La Romana, and is it Luis Frias? I think he's from Rio San Juan, which is another short drive away. You had more of them rooting for the Diamondbacks than the Texans, but baseball in itself, the rules, the game is so long. And I grew up watching baseball. That was actually my first sport before football because my grandfather, old black man.
Yes. Our grandfathers were baseball junkies. Yeah, they were baseball fans.
So that was my first love, was baseball. It's just the way they do. It's just too much going on in baseball. Then they coming up with a pitch count for a clock to try to speed up the game. They changing
which they did. They did speed it up. To your point, go ahead.
They changing all the rules, and then I just the love of baseball is not what it used to be. And I think it's because also they want to, you got a new generation. We just talked about this off wax about how with the new rappers and how they can't sell out arenas. They're just doing small venues. Like, you want to take away the razzle dazzle. We like the backflips. We like a little bit of the arrogance. We like that. But the old man baseball purists, they don't want any of that. Baseball is boring in itself, so you've got to liven it up, and they don't want to do anything to liven it up. Because if them bats ain't swinging and them home runs ain't hitting, or somebody ain't up for a no-hitter or a perfect game, it's just like, womp, womp, womp.
Right. Which Tasha, I'm so glad you finished with that. And Jarrell Glenn says, glad my Rangers finally got it done. It's been a long time coming. It was electrifying the week leading up to the World Series after they beat Houston, as far as the people rallying around the Rangers and really having an interest here in Dallas. It was exciting to be a part of, everybody having on their Rangers gear and things like that. Jarrell Glenn, who's been following them a long time, said it was a long time coming. The Hasso family and of the like. Mike, Tasha brought up home runs, scoring, things of that nature, which Texas has in abundance. They are offensively driven. They have a ton of great young talent. Can the Rangers be the type of team that grabs the casual fan going into next year, because they will get a lot more televised games?
I think so. I mean, you look at Adolis Garcia, and he has a lot of that swagger and a lot of that passion.
Fun to watch.
And he's from Cuba, so like he don't care what you want. He has that big old chain on, and he'll flip the bat, finally. But he might get hit. He might get hit every now and then.
Even though Texas is like the biggest state per land mass in the United States, the Rangers in itself are not a draw, even though they did win this. If y'all know, if it ain't the Yankees or somebody like that,
I was wondering if that was the problem, because
ain't nobody really watching. Right. And I'm a Mets fan, but ain't nobody watching.
Yeah, I mean that goes to the point of like what I think it had something to do with the Rangers not having a win in a while. I mean, ever, right? So like you look at a Super Bowl, name a Super Bowl team that hasn't won ever in the Super Bowl matched up with another young expansion team. and like it's not going to get views either. Like
That's what happened
maybe
with the Knights and the
halftime, maybe
Rams.
halftime, and that's it.
Super Bowl and football gonna get the views. Baseball won't, unless it's a team like a LA or like the Yankees or somebody like that. They're not going to get the casual baseball because baseball is boring.
Let me go here. And first of all, I want to say good morning to AP Culture, Melanie Taylor, Sheila Hastings checking in. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Mike, could it be a situation where, because when you said Super Bowl, I thought about the Titans and the Rams the year they went, and that wasn't a sexy matchup either, outside of the people who were invested in those areas. Could gambling be a part of this? Because to Tasha's point, you can have Arizona and New England in the Super Bowl this year, and it's going to do numbers because of the betting. You know, I've never bet on a baseball game. Is that prevalent?
Yeah, you could definitely tell because I was watching the spreads the whole way, or the over-unders for the series, and you could definitely tell Vegas or the people didn't really know what to bet on because they had an over-under like 6 runs, and I was like, there ain't no way Rangers outscoring that by themselves.
Right. No, they're going to get that in the second inning. At least this Rangers team. Now, Melanie says, as a student, baseball will be an F on her report card. And the thing is, that's a lot of people's sentiment. One thing is, it's hard to find the games. I didn't get to see the Rangers play but a handful of times on Fox.
Bally's Fitness or whatever they own.
Right. They own Bally Shoe Sports and all of that good stuff. But nonetheless, it was great to see them win it all. I was very, very happy and excited. It was an exciting race. It was an exciting race for the division. The way that Seattle and Texas and Houston had this triple ladder death match to try to knock each other off for that spot. It was great to see. So there we have that. Now let's move on to some college football, since it is Saturday, by the way.
Saturday night.
Hey, that was some nice little vibrato there. Y'all got your soul with you this morning. Now, the College Football Playoff Committee has released their initial rankings on Tuesday, and it goes as follows: Ohio State number 1, Georgia number 2, Michigan number 3, Florida State number 4, Washington I'm going to throw in there at number 5 because they are undefeated, and Oregon comes in at number 6 as the highest ranked one-loss team. Tasha, your initial thoughts on these top 4? You have any issues with how the committee placed these top 4?
Again, they're going strictly off of the eye test because I was not expecting the FIs to be number 1. I was when you put that out last week, I thought you meant in the final. That's why I gave my 4.
Right. But you cleared that up on Twitter. Follow her at Tasha 404.
But yeah, I was just kind of surprised about the rankings, not the teams there, just the rankings. But I did think Washington was going to sneak in there.
Okay, so you expected to see Washington in that top 4. Mike, any surprises for you? Anything you disagree with that top 4? Again, it's Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, and Florida State.
Yeah, I don't think that they used the eye test. I think they went strictly off of strength of schedule, and they're putting Ohio at number 1, which we kind of thought about. I mean, they've done that in the past, but if I were to see a Michigan game against a neutral opponent that Ohio's faced and see how Ohio faced them, like it's night and day. Like it's not even comparable. And I think the biggest thing is their Notre Dame win and their Penn State win. So that's why they're at number 1. Georgia.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say Georgia's a frustrating team. I will say that to rank them, because if you call them out one week, they'll show up the next week like, all right, here. But then the next week they'll struggle with Auburn, and it's like, oh, you're gonna call us out again. I mean, they're just a frustrating team. So I'll probably keep them at 2. But you know me, I'm put Michigan number 1, Ohio State at 3.
Awesome.
I mean, yeah, it goes into that too. But Mike, you were saying it's strength of schedule, but look at how the FIs played those teams that they played. They, other than the first game when what's the quarterback? I don't know their quarterback now. I really don't care about
McCoy.
Yeah, I really don't care about any of their players. But
that's what I like to hear on a Saturday morning.
Unless one Mr. Miles happens to get a scholarship there in 10 years. How old is Miles? 14, 15?
Right. I'm still wearing Blue Martries, but I'm gonna send him some care packages up there on campus.
Right. We still gonna wear our blue. but we gonna root for Miles. But that's neither
I
here
am
nor
going to root for Miles to go number one. That's
like the
correct.
first game, he was a little rough. I mean, come on, he's playing big time college football. But after that, they started looking good. You think they got the starting running back is out, and then what's
Yeah,
his name?
Trevion Henderson.
What's the wide receivers? Marvin Harrison
Marvin
Jr.
Harrison
Jr.
is banged up, but he's still out there putting up them numbers.
Yeah.
So
he's playing best against the best opponents so far this year.
Right. So I think that has a lot to do with it. I think Georgia got number 2 simply because of the last game they played. Because before that, Georgia was not looking good at all.
To Mike's point, how frustrating they are. As soon as we get on their butt, they come out and they do good. As soon as we say, "Oh, Georgia's back," they struggle again, like you said, against Auburn and down by 10 points in the third quarter.
They simply, and what did I put in our group? They gave them that ranking simply because they beat another SEC school. Florida ain't no good.
Florida ain't even skating without a stick. They skate.
It's the conference that they in. It's the conference that they're in that got them to that number 2 ranking.
Right. And people are enamored with the whole 720 days since they last lost a game and all that. I get all that. But back to Mike's point about Michigan and the eyeball test versus the strength of schedule. Can I back up my Michigan brethren and sisterin with some nerd stats? Michigan is the only team in FBS that has won each game by at least 24 points. They've won 20 Big Ten games in a row, 23 regular season games in a row. They haven't given up more than 10 points in any game. They've broken the record set in 1974 by the Ohio State Buckeyes for most consecutive games with a 38-point victory this year. Now, y'all can get all into the reasons why and with your speculations and all that, but damn that, men lie, women lie, Connor lies, the NCAA lies, but these numbers don't lie. And they're not even playing in the fourth quarter, none of their starters. So from an eyeball test spot, give me Michigan at number 1, and then we'll holler at the rest of y'all at the end of November. Now, let's go here. Of these top 4 teams, and we're going to start with you, Tasha, Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, Florida State. Which team is left off the top 4 when the final rankings come out?
Of course, we all going to have the same answer. The loser of the FI Michigan game.
Mike, it's on you. That's my answer.
No, I got Georgia.
Georgia. Okay, expand on that. Why Georgia?
I mean, they're just the only team that hasn't been as consistent as the other 3. Just looking at how they're playing, and to everyone's point, SEC does have some people that can knock them off. So,
but they're not going to put that. But remember, other conferences do not get the same leeway that the SEC does with a 1-loss team in the Final Four. That's not going to.
What worries me.
They're not going to put a 1-loss Big Ten team in. Along with other teams, they're not.
That's what worries me, Mike.
If you have Florida State stays undefeated,
they're in.
If you have Washington that stays undefeated,
they're in.
And whoever wins the SEC championship is going to be in. So it only
unless they have 2 losses.
Unless they have 2 losses, and then you have the Big Ten champion, which would leave out Michigan or Ohio State.
I still don't think that a 1-loss Big Ten team is going to get in. It's not going to happen.
This is what worries me. Go ahead, Mike.
I was just saying it happened last year. They'll do it again.
It did happen last year, but the caveat was the Pac-12 wasn't no count last year.
Exactly.
So the Pac-12 is initially going to steal a bid. We're going to say steal from an elitist standpoint that it's a Big Ten and SEC world in college football. They're going to steal one of those bids because if Oregon beats Washington in the rematch in the Pac-12 championship game, Oregon is going to get in.
Yeah.
Because they passed the eyeball test and the strength of schedule test with the SEC being so strong. And speaking of Georgia, good morning, Miss Christina. Good morning to you. This is why I agree with Tasha that it may be the loser of the Michigan-Ohio State game. Michigan, let's just keep it real. Their strength of schedule will keep them out if they lose to Ohio State. If you put them up against a 1-loss Oregon or a 1-loss Washington, the strength of schedule is not going to add up. And ESPN is hosting the college football playoff, and they don't even want us on the play in the championship game.
They don't even want to put our news across the ticker at the bottom unless it's bad.
They don't want to put a Big Ten team on there. That's what it is. They're like, oh, you kept us out of the contract? All right.
Right, and I think that has a lot to do with their coverage of Michigan right now. But to Tasha's point, you got a 1-loss Georgia. If they get clipped by Alabama and Georgia getting in. They're going to say, well, Georgia versus Michigan, Michigan is going to fall out. Georgia versus Ohio State. Ohio State may stand a chance because of their victories over Notre Dame and over
Penn State.
Penn State. They may stand a chance, but our best bet is for LSU to win the SEC to knock them all out. Like that's what Big Ten fans should be rooting for, is for LSU to beat Alabama today and to beat Georgia in a few weeks, so all of them get knocked out. Like they can eat themselves. We shall see about that. Interesting conversation. It should be interesting to see how that goes out. Now, Mike, let me come to you with something that I saw on ESPN this morning. This news dropped at 6:56 a.m. Central Time. It reads, athletes granted class certification in antitrust case versus NCAA. Now, I'm going to read a couple of excerpts from this article, but just to encapsulate it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But it says, a federal judge granted class certification to 3 different groups of college athletes Friday in an ongoing antitrust case against the NCAA, a decision that significantly increases the potential financial penalties the NCAA could face if it continues its losing streak in federal court. It says the athletes and their attorneys argue that the NCAA's rules illegally block them from maximizing the amount of money they could be earning from selling the rights to their name, image, and likeness. If the athletes are successful in court, the NCAA could be responsible to pay billions of dollars in damages.
Yes.
Mike, this is what you've been asking for 5 years.
Yep.
Now, Tasha, I'm gonna bring you in on this. They got a sister judge up there in California that's been hearing these cases, and she's ruled against the NCAA every step of the way for it to get to this point. She even broke it down into 3 different class suits, and it will be presided in front of her. If you the NCAA, while you digging around in trash cans and tree houses trying to get Harbaugh,
talk about hamburgers.
You got $1 billion lawsuit coming down the pike. You need to call Olivia Pope because y'all scandal is much worse than ours.
Mike. I know you didn't. When before Mike gives his answer, I know you didn't read that story I sent to the group about those twin basketball players that are trying to sue because they're trying to rule them as ineligible because they made money off their name off of their NIL, but they're saying that the NCAA is arguing that they were employees and they were getting like paid a salary. It don't matter. It don't matter. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike, your thoughts on this developing story that just broke this morning?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think that's time for a student. I mean, it's been a long time that student athletes have been fighting back. And being like, no, this isn't right. How are you going to be this organization looking over us? But when at times it talks about us, you kind of stay back, like it. I hate the NCAA. I mean, I think it'll bring down the college football whole environment if they continue to be the organization. I don't think it's going to be that way. I think eventually this is like the start of them going bye-bye. And I'm not saying next year. I'm not saying 5 years, but I'm saying like before we die, we will see the NCAA go bye-bye.
Oh, no, Mike. It may be way before we die because that trial is set to start in January 2025. And it would behoove, as this article stated, it would behoove the NCAA to settle. But if you settle, you're cutting off your own legs. You really need to have this upheld in court to prevent future litigation. So if you lose this case, which they've lost every step of the way with this judge in California, then if you can't do antitrust, you have no leg to stand on in the NCAA, and you'll be disbanded.
Right.
And maybe that's why Michigan has kind of been like, okay, well, let's continue to work on this contract because I see over there that you got $1 billion coming after you.
Right.
So
if we string this out long enough, y'all may not have the teeth to come after us after 2025. Yep. So there you go. All right. Now, I just wanted to just update that since everybody want to talk about the NCAA in Michigan. Let's talk about the NCAA and their own dirt in their backyard with the little train tracks and they draws. All right. Now, let's go on the field, Tasha. You know, we grew up in Nashville, Tennessee, where this game was called the game of the century like 5 years in a row. LSU versus Alabama under the lights in Tuscaloosa. It gets no better than this. Now, Michigan, I'm going to need y'all to blow Purdue ass out in the first half so I can flip it over to CBS and watch the second half of this game. I digress. Now, Mike, this is the 14th ranked LSU Tigers versus the 8th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. This has SEC championship implications, college football championship implications. We've already gone over the gamut of the scenarios about who wins and who loses. I'm going to come to both of you real quick. Mike, as I flip my page here. Now, LSU's quarterback, Jaden Daniels, he leads the country in total offense and in passing touchdowns. One of his receivers, Malik Neighbors, leads the nation in receiving yards, and the other one, named Brandon Thomas, leads the nation in receiving touchdowns. Let's just call them an offensive juggernaut. Meanwhile, on defense, Alabama has the top 2 pass rushers in the conference. One leading the conference with 8 sacks, the other with 7. Tasha, on the flip side, Jalen Monroe for Alabama, he has been exceptional at the deep ball, and LSU is down 3 of their 4 top secondary pieces. 2 cornerbacks and a safety will miss this game. I'm going to start with you, Tasha. Who has the better game today, Milroe or Jaden Daniels?
Man, I just don't be trusting Milroe. That's the thing. But he does have the ability to, for whatever reason, rally and get it done. Like you said, with the deep ball, he does have that ability. So I'm going to go Milroe because I think that Alabama defense has finally worked out some of the cogs, and I think it's going to
They played a lot better.
They're going to prohibit. Yeah.
All right. Mike, which quarterback are you taking in this matchup?
I got Daniels. I think, man, his play has been exceptional. I don't care who you're playing. You sling it like that with I think he has above a 200 QBR.
He does. That's insane.
I think Alabama's quarterback is, I mean, he's played well, right? Like he's a good quarterback.
No, he ain't played well, Mike.
his 13-5 touchdown to interception. Those 5 interceptions kind of worry me.
Come on.
So I'm gonna go with LSU quarterback on this one.
That's why I love talking SEC with these two. Now, shouts out to David Rodriguez, YF Dizzy. He was at the game. Shouts out to him. Although he was at the parade, big Rangers fan. Shouts out to him. Check out his YF Dizzy TV. It's really, really, really captivating. You would not think he was as young as he is with the topics that he discusses. All right. So who wins this game, Mike? Alabama's a 3.5-point home favorite. Who you taking?
I got LSU with the points.
Okay. So LSU and the points. Tasha?
I hate to do it to my little baby girl. That's my niece, everybody, Jalen. She is a cheerleader at LSU, but Auntie's got a roll tide on this one.
I'm rolling tide on this one because it's in Tuscaloosa at night, and the last night game was against Texas. It didn't fare too well. Saban normally doesn't trash it too many times. Although last year, Jaden Daniels lit up the Crimson Tide and beat them 32-31 on a 2-point conversion as time expired. Like, you don't get no better than that. We shall see.
I hope Alabama just pulled the tape on the Florida State game and saw what they did.
Good point. Now, for you stat nerds out there, in their last 12 meetings, Alabama is 10-0 against LSU when they hold them to 17 points or fewer, and 0-2 in the games where LSU scores more than 17 points. So to Tasha's point, that if that defense shows up to play and corrals Daniels, I think the Crimson Tide gets it done. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think that the Alabama gets it done. All right. Now, not to be outdone, the NFL has a triple header that's mouth-watering in itself. We're going to start over in Germany, where the 6-2 Miami Dolphins face the 6-2 Kansas City Chiefs. Before we get into any of this, Mike, I remember week 1, me and Tasha came to you after Tua's big performance and asked you if you were a believer. You said you needed 5 more games. The 5 games have elapsed. Your thoughts on Tua?
Yeah, he's a good quarterback.
I believe.
Mike don't believe. Look at his face. Mike's
right. He hates it. Mike hates it.
Mike like, is he all right?
Yeah, I mean, he's good. He's good.
What did Jay-Z say? He's all right.
He ain't no Mahomes. Like, that's a different caliber. So he's good.
So in this matchup, who has the better day tomorrow morning? Is that going to be Tua or is that going to be Mahomes?
Man, that's a good question because we all know regular season Mahomes is different than postseason Mahomes.
It is. And this
Mahomes looks like, man, he's so goofy, man. If you ever see him walking off the field, he's like, what you doing?
And he's just getting over the flu, and they didn't
Yeah.
arrive until like Friday or Saturday morning.
That is crazy. That did in the Titans too. They walk through the first half in London because they got over there way late in the week. So
You know what?
who you got? Mahomes or Tua?
I was gonna say Tua, but then T. Sizzle brought up a good point that's kind of swaying me the other way. I'm gonna go with Mahomes just because he hasn't had a good breakout game in a while.
He sure hasn't. Tasha, who you like in this matchup? Who goes off more? Better stat line, Tua or Mahomes?
I'm gonna say Tua, and I'm going for the fighting imitation of lives to pull this game out.
Leave that coach alone. He's doing a great job, Tasha.
Hey, I know. Hey, you know where he came from.
I know where he came from now. Tyreek Hill has said all week that he's about to give the Chiefs that work. It's his first time playing against them since they basically let him walk and didn't want to pay him. They went and won a championship without him last year. He's on a Super Bowl caliber team this year. He's leading the league in receptions. He's been electric. Who has the better game, though? You going with Cheetah or you going with Travis Kelce?
Oh, for sure, Hill. Hill hasn't. No one stopped him. Like at least Kelce, he's been. I don't even think he played last. No, he did play, but he didn't really play last game.
That's because his lady over in Argentina, she ain't up there drinking shots with the quarterback's wife watching.
Right. So I got Hill on this one.
Tasha?
Cheetah.
Y'all be on the lookout for Travis Kelce in this one. I think he's going to be motivated because he stepped into the number one role when Cheetah left. And I think that he may get 2 or 3 tubs in this one. I'm going to go with Cheetah as well.
But Cheetah got that petty. I would say Kelce was petty, but he let his beard grow back when he just had the mustache.
And he did go to a World Series game too. So
right, he was in Dallas doing his thing. Okay, so who wins the game? Kansas City is a 1.5 point favorite over in Germany. Tasha, who you got?
The fighting imitation of lives.
That makes 2 for the Dolphins, Mike.
And I gotta go Kansas City because
don't be trying to extend your lead over us. We know you in the lead now with the picks. Don't do that, Mike. We're about to walk that ass down City. Sunday. All right, okay. Now let's go to Sunday night. Oh, now we get the. No, we're gonna save that because that ain't time for the pick 5 yet. I should have known this would come up soon, but we'll digress. Let's go to Sunday Night Football. We have an AFC playoff rematch. Oh, I'm dreading pulling up that stat. We have an AFC playoff rematch between the Buffalo Bills and Cincinnati Bengals. Let's keep with the theme of which quarterback do you have more faith in on Sunday. Tasha, let's start with you. Josh Allen or Joey Burrow?
I have more faith in Joe Burrow, but do you want the picks?
No, go ahead. Run your game.
But I'm going for Buffalo.
So So just for the record's sake, Cincinnati's a 2-point home favorite. Tasha says Buffalo will win at least by a field goal. Mike, who you like in this one, Allen or Burrow?
I got Burrow.
And do you have the Bengals?
Oh, that wasn't our 5 pick. Let me go ahead and take a look.
Right. You watching the football this year? You
I got Bengals. I got Bengals.
You going with the Bengals. Now, here's an interesting stat for you all to watch out for on Sunday night. Cincinnati has had multiple interceptions in 2 of their last 3 games. Josh Allen is tied for second most interceptions thrown this year with 8. He will give that ball over. For that reason, I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals as well. I think Allen will have the better day statistically because they don't have a running game to speak of. But I do think that he's going to throw one to the other team just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Tasha?
I don't understand why Buffalo doesn't think they need a running back. Dalvin Cook's little brother, he ain't getting it done. Y'all would have been better off to get Dalvin.
Look who shows up this morning, Mr. Stone in the house. What's
tuned.
going on, Mr. Stone? Oh, we about to get to that one in just a second. You hang tight because we about to get to that one. Mike, why do you think the Buffalo hadn't really invested in a running back? I think they picked up Leonard Fournette off the scrap heap out the dumpster this week.
Yeah, I honestly don't know why. I think because they don't want to spend too much money. They want to save that cap space. I honestly don't know.
For what? For who? You got your wide receiver. You got your quarterback. You got a potent defense. Who the hell are you saving it for?
Hey, like Waters said back in Philly, for who? For what?
For what?
For who? For what? Ricky Watters wasn't. I ain't diving over the middle for nobody. Who for what? All right. So we're all in agreement that Cincinnati gets this one done.
No.
Yep.
You got Buffalo?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Tasha has Buffalo. See, this is how she going to creep back into the lead on us. So Tasha has Buffalo. All right. No, but that's not one of our pick'em games, though. And the game of the week, ladies and gentlemen, you know how it goes down in the city of brotherly love. You got the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Mike, back up so they can see your logo. Boo! Boo that man. See, here we go. I need Michigan Mike to add a parlay segment to the TEP. Mike, what you down? You
Yeah,
scared?
I got you. Yeah, I'm good. No.
All right.
I think I got all of them right last week.
Right, he went 5-0 last week, so this will be a perfect time. You know what? I think Stone took your picks last week and went and made some money and went and add another acre to that backyard. So he needs you to keep the money rolling because you know he got twins that's in extracurricular activities and they need their track shoes. And Mike, you know we give you the picks you need to feed your seed. So Mike, we're gonna work on that for next week. We got you, Stone. We got you. Now, I'm gonna tell you who got who in this Philly-Dallas matchup, but first we want to hear from Michigan Mike since he's all decked out in that putrid puke green. Mike, who you trust more in this matchup, Jalen Hurts or Dak?
Oh, come on now, Hurts. Next question. Next question. Be laughing at you, man.
No, Tasha, what you laughing for up there?
I didn't mean to laugh out loud. I didn't mean to laugh out loud.
You ain't got to giggle. Whenever you ready to get that giggle out of you.
All of this was gonna be yours.
I wasn't gonna make you sign no prenup. Which quarterback are you taking in this one?
Hurt, you know. Hey,
y'all have lost y'all's damn.
Didn't I tell y'all what I was off all last week because I didn't bet on black. I'm back to ABOB. Always betting on black, even though clanger.
I was going to say, well, isn't this technically a neutral site game for you then?
Technically, it ain't. If you know, you know.
No, don't do that.
I know.
You want to say 1%.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I got it.
Right. She's trying to be slick, Mike. You hear what she's doing. She's trying to be slick.
Hurts.
Now y'all trying to say Hulu Hurts. Let me explain to y'all why Dak Prescott is going to put that work in on Sunday. It's because, one, Philadelphia has a run game to speak of, and Tony Pollard has not been the Tony Pollard of old coming off that leg injury last year. Dak Prescott is going to be forced to throw the ball more than Jalen Hurts. And let's face it, Jalen Hurts has been struggling. Didn't I just tell y'all Allen was tied for second in the league with most interceptions with 8? You know who he's tied with, right?
But do you think that's the reason why Pollard ain't producing numbers?
You got a scenario for me? Holler at me.
I'm just saying, how many times have we said, or either I think it was me, I said he's not a every down back. You needed somebody like a Zeke. So Pollard.
Now, wait a minute, hold on. You both of you wanted Zeke ran out of town last year.
No. I said Pollard should have been the starter.
Yeah, the starter. We didn't say get rid of him.
No, y'all said that. Where the tape at?
We said Pollard needed to be starting over Zeke. We didn't say that Zeke needed to be gone.
Back on this page right here, y'all said Zeke need to hit the streets. That's what y'all said. I remember when you said it. Okay. All right. So Dak is going to have to throw the ball more. Dak has been more efficient this year. He has half the interceptions as Hurts right now. Don't do that. Dak about to get out there and do his thing. Now, before we do the pick, let me get your thoughts on this because I don't know if we ever talked about this in the chat. Do you think the brotherly shove, the tush push should be outlawed?
No.
Mike, I ain't asking you. You're a Philly fan. Tasha.
I mean, all these years, ain't nobody ever. I thought this, and then I was listening to one of these many podcasts that I listened to throughout the day. All these years of football, ain't nobody ever thought about rushing the line and pushing nobody forward. And now that somebody actually say, let's rush the line and push the guy forward, now y'all want to say there's something wrong with it?
It's illegal, and it's hurting these defensive players. You got to ban this from football.
I mean, you do it
block?
when you get ready to block a kick. So what's
No, but
the
see, that's just
screen?
it.
The screen is just as impactful, and it's hard to defend, and it can also hurt the defensive players. Like you trying to put a lineman on a cornerback? Come on, man.
That play is a competitive disadvantage for the defense. They already got all the rules slanted for the offense. Get rid of that. It says Dallas' best running back since Emmitt Smith 22 has always been the backup. Whenever they get promoted to starter, they fall off. You mean like Marion Barber? Marion Barber was a monster when he came in as a backup and then took over the reins. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that to now. In some cases, okay, true, yes, he didn't take the wear and tear, but don't get me stressed out.
I mean, if you still had a 2-back system with a decent running back, Pollard would have better numbers.
Ban the tush push. The man had over 1,000 yards rushing last year as the backup. He need to get his ass in gear. Although they do have a new offensive coordinator now, they don't run the ball as much or as effectively. Now, who are you taking in the receiver battle on this one? CeeDee Lamb or A.J. Brown, Tasha? Yeah. Crumble.
It sure ain't Gallup, who I had to put in as a last-minute replacement last week. How the hell the boys, and I called them the boys, so I'm giving them a little respect.
I was surprised. I looked around like, who are you talking about?
How the hell they scored 43 points and Gallup only got me 5 fantasy points?
Now, Marcus said, what can Brown do for you? Now, Mike been down there looking up stats before he give his answer because I know Mike.
I mean, look, CD has shown that he can be that man. But
that's why Gallup ain't eating because it's all going to CD.
But A.J. Brown,
5 straight games with 125 plus receiving yards, an NFL record.
That's a different kind of man right there.
Rem Brown, he been my rebel since I was a little boy. A.J. Brown, every time I see him,
he said,
A.J. Brown, every time I see him doing the flags or doing the first down or catching one of those circus touchdown catches, I just go further into depression because Traylon Burks is the equivalent of Anthony freaking Davis. He's street clothes. We replaced A.J. Brown with the Anthony Davis. Did they need? Go ahead, Mike. Answer. Don't let me digress onto the Titans. Go ahead and answer that.
No, you're good. I mean, you already know what my answer is.
Guess? CD.
It's Brown. No, come on now.
But why? Ain't you seen CD Lamb, the little Lamb?
Haven't you seen
Lambs
A.J. Brown?
Sacrificed. I have. He's on my fantasy team. He's the reason I won 5 games in a row, Mike, in your league, and I'm coming for you, bro. Don't you lose. As soon as you lose, I'm gonna catch that ass.
I know.
He said CD will be sacrificed. The sacrificial route runner. No, CD and Dak are about to tear that ass up. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. You take them over on DraftKings. Make sure you take the over with them on DraftKings. Now I love AJ Breezy, but CD and Dak, they've been doing they thing. Now Lupe Flores, a Cowboys fan, finally a Cowboys fan checking in. He says new name is TD Lamb. I love it.
Dak gonna have 2 INTs guaranteed. Write that down. 2 INTs.
Mary had a.
No, wait a minute, Mike. You said 2 INTs.
Yeah.
For Hurts, right?
No.
I mean the Hurts throw with his 8 for the season. They ain't played but 8 games.
He might have 1. I got 2 for Dak though.
With that defense, how we doing them pick sixes and going back like Dion? You
You're
sure?
gonna learn today. You're gonna learn.
Okay. All right. The Tasha, he talking a whole lot of you know what. So Tasha, who you got winning this one?
Yeah, Paul. Who do you have winning this one?
Win the division.
No, Paul. Who you win? Who you pick?
Yeah, who you got, Paul?
All right. I got the Eagles. Got the Eagles.
Fucking all that mess.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Eagles. Look, here's my thought process. And Lupe, stay tuned in because we love you. We love all the Cowboy fans. Here's the reason why I'm picking the Eagles. One, because I'm behind, and all my homer picks have been backfiring on me. The Titans and the Cowboys is the reason why I'm in last place now. So I got to put that to the side for a second. And 2, I already told y'all in the offseason when we were doing the season predictions, I think these 2 teams will split. So I'm going to take the home team in each matchup. Yeah. So I'm going Eagles with this one. No, TD Lamb, that's a great one. Now he says, yeah, TD stands for the distraction lamb.
No,
That's
he
a
done
lot.
got rid of that girl that grabbed his phone now.
He snatched that phone back and ain't looked back. I'm like, how he snatch it?
He said,
Did you look?
Yeah, she sat there. She said,
He gave a whole new meaning to look back at it. He was like, yeah? What's going on around here?
he's like, you paid my bill? Come on now.
Right. There was Larsa Pippen on the phone. You know what? Come on. It was Larsa Pippen on the phone. He was like, nah, bro, you can't hold that phone. Tasha, who you got in this matchup?
I went up with your theory. I picked the boys to win the division this year, but I said they're going to split the home and home.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to go with Pittsburgh, with Philly.
See, hey, y'all see how she threw that little dig in there with Pittsburgh because they stomped on my Titans on Thursday night? It just never lets up. It never lets up with these
Tank
two.
Mayo did play good now.
We're going to get to that in just a second, but they're officially out of the wheel. Anybody in the comment section want to give me their social? I'll put y'all in the wheel. Don't ask me how I got y'all socials. Mike, who you got in this one? Why you got on all that damn green?
I agree. I think they're going to split. They usually split, for the past 20 years. Do. So I'm going to go with the Eagles on this one.
Lupe said all y'all got it messed up. He says, I think Dallas defense will show up strong and hurt the Eagles. Hey, I like this guy right here. You see him decked out in his Ranger gear? This man is having a great week.
Okay, Lupe Flores. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's got some zingers right now. I kind of like this guy here. I like this guy. Now, Christina jumping in. She said, we them boys all the way. She told you, Mike, hold up.
We them boys.
Ain't happening.
Now, does Dallas got the best theme song, though? We them boys?
we them Eagles.
We them, right. That old fly, Eagles fly. Forget all that. Y'all ain't past the 50.
Black and yellow.
We got the one from 1950s.
Now, Jarrell, you a Texas cat. What's up with that? He says, nice goatee, by the way, my brother. He says, Eagles 27, Cowboys 23. I'm thinking along that lines. Y'all, look, I know I gave y'all all them stats about Jalen Hurts. I'm trying to whisper so don't nobody else hear me. I know I gave y'all all them stats about Jalen Hurts having more interceptions than Dak, but Dak on the road, his curl don't quite, his braids don't quite hang as low on the road. I be worried about him on the road, and Jalen Hurts has heard the chatter all year about him having fallen back a little bit since last year. He was the MVP.
His O-line is coming back.
Won. Go ahead, Mike.
His O-line is coming back. That's why he's doing better for as far as Jalen Hurts.
That helps. That definitely helps. Can't dispute that. You don't approve the Goon Squad PL? Stay out of our business. I approve, y'all. Damn it, I approve, y'all. I love y'all. But you be saying some slick stuff there, Stone. I'm going back to this one. All the way.
But change your pickup. Change your pick.
I can't. I'm behind. When I post this slide, y'all don't see. I can't. Because that's how y'all get me. See, ladies and gentlemen, let me show y'all. Let me take y'all behind the curtains. Mike and Tasha have colluded against me. What they do is they get in a separate chat and they say, look, the Falcons or Houston is playing the Titans this week. Paul going to take the Titans. Let's just go ahead and put this on the schedule so Paul go with the Titans and kick him out.
I've been picking the Titans too.
For a month because of the Titans.
The only thing you collude about behind your back is Jordan's greatness over LeBron.
We do be sending some Jordan greatness videos.
They won't send it to me because they know what they're going to get clapped back on. Now, let's see. Shouts out to Justin Hart. He said, much love, y'all. I want to be like Paul when I grow up. You're being slick because you beat me in fantasy 2 weeks ago. Put 200 points on my head. You being slick. And we picked we picked the Dolphins to win, didn't we?
Justin, I picked the Chiefs. Next season, I'm going to be on it with this league. With that fantasy league, Justin,
when the playoffs come around, we need you to come on with your Mahomes wig. Y'all got to see him in this Mahomes wig. This man is hilarious. He said, "Did you say Dak got them struck?" This on the road, his braids don't quite come out the back of the helmet.
It'd be more of a struggle for him to accept that maybe he needs some braids.
He said Dak put that extra sauce in his hips on the road with that warm up down. Yeah, hey.
Not the Mexican hat dance. You would not.
He don't know.
I love me
You
some
don't know.
Dak Clanger. The thing is, y'all, I'm gonna be rooting so hard for the Cowboys on Sunday. I am, but this is a business decision because these two are running away with the title, and they got me looking like rerun, like I tell y'all every week, chasing the back of that pickup truck on the beginning of what's
I
happening.
mean, I do want the Cowboys to win, simply because I picked them for the,
Me
for
too.
the
I'm rooting
but,
for them to win. Go Cowboys. Now, Melanie says, got to go with the Eagles. They have a whole piece of the.
Oh, but it's too soon, Mel. He's still.
Look at him. Look at him. Look like you took away his favorite toy.
He's still a little tender over there.
Yeah. Mike, you know I love AJ Brown. Didn't y'all see the pictures the coaches posted in 2021? We all had on AJ Brown jerseys. You know how much money we threw away?
I keep telling you, stop buying jerseys. Just buy.
I was nervous on Derrick Henry when I wore that Henry jersey. I was nervous. I thought his ass was gone. Gosh, I was putting on a brave face all week in the chat. I thought he was gone.
I done told y'all stop buying jerseys because
I gotta quit buying jerseys.
the players will get
Mike
traded.
understands the assignment. He gets swag, but not the jersey unless it's
Right.
Michigan.
I have never
college
owned
is
a jersey.
different.
As much as I love Jerry Rice, I've never owned a number 80 jersey.
Y'all, my fandom is messing me up because these two can compartmentalize. They'll pick against their team if it means winning the war. Me, I'm losing the battle trying to be a fanboy.
No, I've been picking the Titans, so don't even. You roll it back. I've been picking the Titans.
No, you have been picking the Titans, but you've been picking the Titans on all the games they win. I pick them on all the ones they lose. Because you know I would have picked them to beat Pittsburgh. Y'all know that, right? And I would have lost again. So thank you for leaving that off the sheet this week. Let's talk about the Titans for just a second. King Mayo's come in for 2 games. His name is Will Levis, the second-round pick out of Kentucky. He looked good, had 4 touchdowns a week ago against Atlanta. Played decent on the road against Pittsburgh with T.J. Watt and them hounding him the whole game. 4 sacks, plenty of pressures. Man. He looked good. He wasn't the reason why they lost that game. But let's talk about the hierarchy of the Titans. The Titans, Ron Tannehill is about to be off the mend with this ankle sprain. Now, I know we all agree that Will Levis should stay the quarterback. Y'all have told me since week 1 that Tannehill needs to hit the road and to hit the reset button.
No, we told you last season.
Well, who's counting? It all when you're losing all the games, all the days run together. Now, let me ask you this, Tasha. What do you think Vrabel is going to do? Do you think Vrabel do you think he will be crazy enough to put Tannehill back in? Because that's some Titan shit.
If Vrabel want his job, he going to keep King Mayo in.
Mike, do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see how he keeps his job if he puts Tannehill back in.
Because soon as they start losing, remember, I even put that on, and y'all know I very rarely, only thing I put on Facebook usually is some sports or something like that. And I said, Tannehill ain't hurt. He just don't want to go to work.
You know what? And the thing is, there's a part of me that really believes that he's like, look, I'm on the last year of my deal. I'm hurt. I'm going to be a free agent in the offseason. They're not going to re-sign me. Let me just hold this clipboard and get my $21 million and get the hell out of Dodge.
And that's
I think that he might be okay.
And that's his best bet. That's Vrabel's best bet is for him. Hey, hold this clipboard.
Right, but here's my question though, Tasha and Mike, because there was plenty of rumors on the rumor mill that, and to your point, Tasha, and I was keeping a brave face, but I had read the reports too that Baltimore and Tennessee had a deal in place for Derrick Henry, but Amy Adams Struck, the owner, stepped in and nixed that deal. She said, "No, you're not getting rid of my best player. You're not doing that." So she nixed the deal. That Vrabel and Red Carthon was about to ship off the damn team.
But
and she
Amy
nixed the deal.
Adams, what you say her last name is? Trump. If you valued Derrick Henry that much, you would have paid him.
She did. He's one of the highest paid running backs behind Christian McCaffrey.
Tannehill wouldn't have seen no parts of that money. Tannehill's ass would have been gone.
Yeah, but here's the thing with Tannehill. Okay, it's a bad deal now, but at the time they were kind of stuck with having to re-sign him because of the way they feel. They didn't have a chance to get a great young quarterback, but They were coming off an AFC Championship game right when he was coming up for renewal. What do you do with a quarterback that takes you to the AFC Championship?
You could have got somebody up off the scrap heap and said, "Hey,
He wasn't that bad, but
we're gonna
he's been bad lately. He's been that bad
give
lately.
Derrick Henry this amount of money, but Tannehill, we're going to give you this amount."
Right, but the running back market kind of dictated that. Derrick Henry's the second highest paid running back behind Christian McCaffrey. He's at $12 million and McCaffrey's at $16 million. So Derrick, he's not gonna get that money again. But my whole point of bringing up the whole Amy Adams drug deal was that Vrabel was about to make a dumb decision getting rid of the king. Now you got a good quarterback that you should have been playing all along, and you didn't have to get rid of Bayard if you were going to have a good quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Just put the quarterback in and let the season play out. So Vrabel had been making the best decisions. That's why I want to ask y'all if y'all think he will be dumb enough. Would his pride allow him to put Tannehill back in? Because Tannehill is his guy.
Jobs is hard to come by these days.
That is true.
If he wants his job,
that's true.
He gonna keep King Mayo, which I did find out interesting fact. He said he really didn't do that.
That it was a TikTok prank.
Yes, but it got him an endorsement deal.
It did. He has a lifetime deal with Hellman's. The kid is smart and he's tough. Mike, how do you see the rest of the season playing out for the Titans since they're not playing this week? You think over the next, let's see, they have what they're 3-5. They have 9 more games left. What do you think? 4 wins, 5 wins, 6 wins?
9 more games. Man,
what's their schedule?
Maybe.
Okay, now I'll tell you what they got coming up soon. They have on deck. They have Tampa Bay. Then they go to Jacksonville. Then they have Carolina. They get Houston twice in the last 3 games. They have a Christmas Eve game against Seattle. So the schedule kind of lightens up. They get another crack at Indianapolis. They got the 2 remaining against Jacksonville, the 2 remaining against Houston, and then you got Carolina sprinkled in, Tampa Bay sprinkled in. So they do have some winnable games left.
I mean, the two Jacksonvilles, that's going to be a loss. The Dolphins is going to be a loss, and the Seahawks.
Ooh, that Monday, you mean the Monday Night Massacre? Look at Stone. I can't stand you, man. He's talking about several losses. Let's just say several.
I got 4 wins out of that.
Okay.
You
so
got
in that scenario, you're looking at a 7-10 season.
And Houston, yeah.
But hey, who's to say? The way CJ Stroud has been out there, which I'm surprised.
Houston is not a gimme game. I'm not even counting them as
anymore.
A gimme game.
It used to be, but not anymore.
Now, the last Jacksonville game, the last game of the regular season, Jacksonville may have everything so sold up there that they don't play Sunshine and ETN and Christian Kirk and other like. So the Titans might get that one, but still, 8-9 is not getting you into the playoffs. But it does give you a top 10 pick.
If they want to be petty, they're going to put them boys in.
Yeah, but the thing is, all you're doing is just moving Tennessee up the draft board at that time. I'd rather let you win that game and drop a few spots instead of giving you a top 5 pick. You know what I'm saying? Let me just bench my players. Yeah. I'll go in and host my game next week, send y'all asses home, and don't let you get a chance to move up and get Marvin Harrison Jr. to go with D-Hop.
The remaining time is the Titans need to focus on, is this the right head coach? Mm-hmm. And what are we going to do with the draft picks? What are we going to need? And of course, development for Levis, and just don't kill him. You know,
right. They're going to lose to Houston.
Really good. Really
right. I'm disputing. DeMeco Ryans got them boys playing. They have one of the top pass defenses in the league. Something that San Francisco had last year that they matched.
They will lose to Houston, but I don't know about both times. They might split.
They might. And by that time, those are the last 3 games of the year. Levis may have continued to progress at that point. Derrick Henry looks rejuvenated. DeAndre Hopkins looked like a legitimate receiver with Levis.
Derrick Henry looks so good Thursday.
Yeah, he looks. They look watchable.
Prime gave me my game.
Right, they look watchable now, like a competent, watchable team on Thursday night. They lost to Pittsburgh, but y'all, I'm gonna just put it out here. Mike Tomlin is the best coach in football right now. That team should not be 5-3. What he's doing as a coach, no. They rank 27th or worse in all of the major offensive categories, and you 5-3. You don't beat Baltimore and the likes. The coaching job he's doing has been phenomenal.
On black, the man shows up to work with black Air Force Ones on. What does that tell you?
And he got to feel Glorilla's booty. So I I knew right there that he was. Did you see how she reacted when she met him?
That's her favorite team because he used to coach in Memphis. That's her favorite player.
Mike Tomlin was like this.
She was like,
all of this is gonna be yours.
And side note, you do know that's Sasha's favorite team. She roots for the Titans, but she is a Steelers fan like her father.
Okay, that's fair because my uncle Ursher got me into the Cowboys. So a lot of times that is passed down from a paternal aspect. So shouts out to the Steelers. I have no beef with the Steelers. They kick our ass all the time, but I have much respect for that organization. And TJ Watt is a menace. Now, Mike, cue the thing. Here we go. Oh Lord, I knew I had to get to this part soon. Y'all, the extra points pick them.
Paul, why are you so low?
Don't me ask you no questions. Nobody ask you to ask me nothing.
Paul, why are you sitting 3%?
We can move you to money line too if you want, Paul.
You know what, Mike? Shut the hell up. Today, shut the hell up award goes to one Michael James Hasso. I'm putting
not the government name.
I'm going government. Because I don't need this from him right now. The thing is, my losing streak started when Mike took over picking the games for the week. All right. So there's something in the water. Now, Christina has a question. What's the prize for the winning picks? Let's come up with one real quick. Mike, what do you think?
You said you're going to get us a belt, so I should have.
Oh, yeah. You're going to get a championship belt. I want that belt. I want that belt. No. I'm not going to win the belt, Christina. So y'all send me y'all sizes so I can have this ready for January 1st.
24.
Almost said something. Let me stop. So as you can see, he says MJ for the win last week. Yes. MJ, he went undefeated last week. Stone, quit gassing him up. Michigan Mike is in the lead now with 27 wins, doing the spread, actually. 68% against the spread this year. That's some Vegas.
Can't even get that better in Vegas. Come on now.
You can't even get that in Vegas.
Tasha if we was betting money, if we was betting the church's money, Mike would be at 20%.
Well, yeah, hey, don't let me put your money in the little ticket booth. Your ass gonna get evicted. Tasha, an impressive 25 out of 40 because in 2 instances she did not bet on black and it cost her the lead.
Yeah.
So we're gonna charge that up to your heart, not your head. So you've already atoned for that sin. And me, y'all know who I be. Say first of all, I know these so-called players wouldn't tell you this. I'm JD bringing up the rear. Sorry, y'all. Don't listen to none of my damn picks. If you value $1, so this is between Mike and Tasha. Let's get to it. Now, LSU versus BAMA for the people who tuned in late. Tasha, can you reiterate who you have in this game?
I'm rolling with the Tide.
I'm rolling with the Tide. Mike is rolling with the LSU Tigers. That worries me tonight. Next up, Washington. The Fighting Phoenixes versus USC. USC is a 3-point home underdog to Washington. Who you got? No, you know what? I'll go first since I'm in last place. I'm going to take Washington on the road with a win. They've struggled the last couple of weeks, which really gives this game some credence as far as the pick'ems because they've looked horrible the last 2 weeks, but USC couldn't stop a cold with a Sudafed. So I'm going Washington with that. Tasha?
What did I say? I would
bet on black.
I would never bet against black again.
But Caleb Williams is a brother.
I said what I said.
You know what, Mike? You up next because Tasha, you're right. You did explain that earlier. I'm sorry. Mike,
I got Washington.
You got Washington. All right.
Yeah.
You see how confident he is. He's like, yeah, I got Washington. I'm gonna just go Washington. All right. All right. We all got Washington. Dallas, Philly. I'm going with Philly. Tasha.
Philly.
Mike.
Philly.
Look at this shirt, y'all. All right. Miami, KC. I'm going with the Dolphins. Tasha.
Fins.
Mike.
Kansas City.
All right. Damn, I think Kansas City gonna win though. Now I'm getting talked out of my own pick. No, I'm gonna fight with Tua. Next up, the Los Angeles Chargers versus the New York Jets. The Jets are a 3.5-point home underdog.
Oh,
Man, nobody underachieves like Justin Herbert and the Chargers.
that's what. And
the Jets are tough.
What they playing?
They're playing in the Meadowlands.
Man, no,
He said the Sandman is tap dancing at the Apollo Theater. For you, right?
Right.
That's going to be on the screen like this. I can't stand you, Stone. We're telling the truth in front of all this congregation. Let me go last since I'm in last place. Mike, you in first place. You go first.
I got the Jets.
Oh, I'm going Chargers then. I need a game.
I got the Chargers.
All right. That's
There
all
you
right.
go.
So there you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. But not to be outdone since they're crapping on me. The survivor picks is still, yeah, I love you too, my brother. But damn, man, you like to get out that Morton's and pour it right in the wound. That's just right. We got to get you back on the set when the CFP breakdown. All right. Survivor pick. Who you got this week, Tasha?
You didn't send them to me. Go ahead,
I
Mike.
sure didn't send them to you. I'm so sorry. Pick one out of these 5.
Let me find somebody.
Mike, you go ahead while she's looking.
Are we doing upset pick or are we just doing random survivor
pick? I'm gonna let y'all rock this thing out.
Dang, man.
Okay. I got the Raiders over the Giants.
Oh.
I thought Mike
the
was
Raiders
what I
with
was
a new
looking
coach,
at, but I don't know.
Coach, GM.
The Giants have a 4th string quarterback, like.
Okay. Now you've been hitting these upset picks the last couple of weeks, Mike. You've been in your bag. Tasha?
I'm going to take the Texans over the Buccaneers.
I like that matchup.
I almost picked the Bucks over the Texans.
Well, wait a minute. You know what?
Let's go ahead. I'm gonna go with the Bucks over Texans.
Mike is taking the Bucks, so we can finally have somebody's gonna have to lose this week. So this is the championship round of the survivor picks, y'all. T Sizzle versus Michigan Mike. Mike is hitting you with the shoulder shimmy. Mike is confident. Tasha's betting on black. She's going with D'Amico Ryans and CJ Stroud. Mike is going with Mike Evans. This should be a colossal game. I'm going to watch this game just so I can see who wins this championship. I love you two. Thank y'all for putting an end to this in dramatic fashion. Tasha, who you shouting out this week?
I got 2 shout outs. Well, actually 3. One of them is a petty. Shout out to the mosquitoes who bit me on my forehead and on my lipoma.
No,
earlier.
it's called the frontal lobe. If it was a soft, gentle kiss.
I was walking around here looking like, remember when Martin had that allergic reaction and his face swole up? That's how I was looking.
That's who's giving them all the pics. Look at her smiling. She know that camera's on her. Hey, precious. Hey, sweetie pie.
My second shout out is
look at her.
Look at
those teeth coming in.
You got teethies, girl.
You got some teeth now. Look at you.
Hey.
Oh, I missed you last week. You my good luck charm at the bowling alley. I had a bad game because you wasn't there. All right, Tasha, your shouts out.
And my second shout out is to my husband. I thought he was going to be here, but guys, this is not a brag, but the way to maintain money over here is to invest in property. So we are on our 4th house. So he's at the other house, and we're going to Airbnb that one.
Oh, so that's where I'm going to stay on my visit to Airbnb?
But he got our wedding date tattooed on his hand.
Where you going to tattoo the wedding day?
I have his initials tattooed over on my ring finger.
Tattoo on Tata saying Big Papa, now check it.
And my last shout out to the class of 2018 from Mississippi State University. It's homecoming week. Get geeked.
Get geeked. It's homecoming week. We said get geeked. Get geeked. It's homecoming week.
Now, baby girl is in enemy territory today because she is working. She is in Oxford at Ole Miss. I think in the beginning of the week, she was thinking about just driving. It's about 2.5 hours, but she said it was cold and she's been up since about 4:00 this morning. So she said, now what?
Wait a minute. Hold on. My glasses is on. I think I got dyslexia because she said I will be 36 on Tuesday. Is that what that says? She's going to be 36. Look at this picture, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody who's watching online, zoom in on this picture. There ain't no way on God's green earth this woman right here is 62 years old.
And the thing is, I've known Mel my entire almost 50 years. And you know what? I always saw Mel as my
No,
friend.
she said, get it right. This 63, right?
I've never really thought about
way.
Mel as being an adult because she's my friend. If that makes sense.
Melanie, what is your secret? Right. Happy birthday, Queen.
Mel.
Shout out to you. That is a blessing. 63 years, Lord, if he would be so good to let me see 63 years on this earth. Dang, you looking good, mama.
Mel,
okay.
I really did not. I never really thought about age when it came to Mel, even though she's the same age as my youngest aunt.
She drink that quarter water. That's what she drink, that quarter water. Now, I got a couple of shout outs. I want to shout out Melanie Taylor for her birthday. Happy birthday to you, Melanie. I want to send a shout out to my nephew, Carter, Paul Coulter. I got a call from his mother that she had a parent-teacher conference and that Carter has been an amazing student. He's making all A's and B's, and then he's being a leader in the classroom. Shouts out to my nephew, Carter, Paul. I appreciate you. Keep up the good work. I want to give a shout out to Eddie George and the Fighting Tigers. They're going for their 5th straight win today against Central somebody. Charleston Southern. Way to go, Tasha. So the game is at 3 o'clock today. I'm going to watch that as my preamble to the Constitution, which is Michigan, which leads me to my next shout out. I want to send a shout out to Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh, I got some advice for you today, my brother. The way that Purdue coach was talking this week, don't rest a damn soul. Don't rest nobody. When we up 38-3 in the third quarter, keep your foot on his neck.
And say, see, this is what happened when I get all y'all video footage. We
right. Okay. Your ass is 2-6 talking about somebody scouting your team. You probably scouting your team to see what not to run.
Ain't nobody coming in the whole country. You, Otis.
Tom, ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. You better respect the big house. The hell you talking about? I almost knocked that brother out through the TV. I was like, what did he say? Oh, this isn't an allegation. You got the tickets. You got the plane tickets. They were scouting our games, too. You ain't won a game in 2 months.
Y'all ain't won a game since Drew Brees left.
Hey.
Who cares? Ain't nobody coming to see you. You wish
don't
you
rest
like that,
nobody. Dude. Put them hammers and them hands on this Purdue coach. I want them to zoom into his face when they ready to do the walk up. When they walk up to shake hands. And then
what you say, Ray?
What you say, sweetie? What you say?
She's looking at Paul.
She knows me. Hey, sweetie. You see her smiling. Hey, that's my buddy.
We gonna go.
That's why she loves her son, Paul. Oh, Mike, since you've been on the road, what y'all think today in the Battle of Bedlam? OU or OSU? Both teams
are ranked. What's the spread? I don't know what the spread is. I was looking at the spread.
I mean, you can jump in here too. OU or OSU today? You going with DJ Uyunglele, or you going with the fighting wagon?
He had a resurgence when he left under Dabo Luther the King. So
yeah, that was a great transfer on his behalf. He left a sinking ship and went to play with a real contender.
Yeah, I got OU.
I'm going OSU. So that means Marcus take OU.
That's a family rival right there because my cousin went to OU, played ball there, and his son went to OSU.
I don't know if you all have been paying attention over the years that we've been doing this show, but Tasha has a lot of educated family and friends. Stay in school, get your education, because everybody that she's affiliated with a university, that means
I'm the most ignorant one out there. I gotta have smart people around me because I was ignorant.
Oh, Christina, it is. Oh, and now she got the nice pajama picture out with the time to put up the. I can't wait to see my baby over there with her Christmas garb on. That's gonna be so awesome.
I only have one shout out. That's to the Rangers. Celebrate this win for the whole DFW area and other Ranger fans. I do want to put Dallas Cowboys on the clock now, though, because that means that Dallas Cowboys is the last team in line to win the championship.
We got you this year. Player. Hey,
Ray.
Hey.
She looked
Go
fed
Blue.
and full and satisfied.
Go Blue. See, you know.
Oh, she said take Purdue and the points. What she said? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we have one last request from the Goon Squad to Mike. Send that sister of yours some merch and don't wait till Christmas. Send it
Christina,
now.
not down there in Braves country. You know they the odds-on favorite for next year.
They are, and our
Nah,
corner
I got
one
Rangers. I got Rangers again.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, good luck tonight figuring out how y'all gonna navigate all these games. You got Washington and USC, LSU and Alabama, Michigan and Purdue all playing at the same time, followed by the Fighting Proms come on at 9:00 after that for you insomniacs. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, what you do, Mike? Wait a minute, Mike.
Go Blue. Go Blue.
Go Blue. All right, we'll see y'all
Mama
next
Blue.
week. Peace. Tasha, can I get that Airbnb though?
Come on through. We just got the pool clean.